Hello. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Sorry about the couple of minutes delay. Hope you can all hear me. Can you please type yes if you can hear me? Hi, just type yes in the chat, please. Yes, okay, great, awesome. Okay, so my name is Flavia and I'll be giving you this tour about Seneca today. Okay, lots of yes is great. So I'm gonna show you around Seneca. I'm gonna show you the main features and some of the new features as well. If you have any questions at any time, just type on the comment box in the chat, in the YouTube chat. I can see what you're typing, so I can answer all those questions live. All right, so let me start by sharing my screen and then we can go for it. Yeah, okay. Great. So the first thing that I want to show you here is a few different tools that we have on the main Seneca page. Okay, so I think all of you will have signed up by now, but if you haven't, then actually let me show you that before, just in case some of you have not signed up yet. This is our main web page. Let me just change that to the UK because we have Seneca all over the world. We have over 6 million people using Seneca. Basically, this is our main web page. So you just look for senecalearning.com or just go on Google, look for Seneca Learning, and you'll find it. Once you're here, click on sign up, and it will give you 3 options to sign up. You can sign up directly on your email and with a password that you come up with, or you can use single sign-on with Google or Microsoft Teams. So if your school uses Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams, you can sign up directly from there. You don't have to type your email, you don't have to come up with a password, none of that. You just click on the button and it goes directly connecting your account Seneca with your MS or GC account. Same thing for your students. When they sign up to Seneca, they can use single sign-on with Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams. Okay, once you get here, then it's really easy to use Seneca, honestly. So I'm here mostly to just give you this quick overview and let you ask me questions, but it's really straightforward. You get here, I already have a few classes set up for this demo, but once you get here for the first time, you have nothing. So all you have to do is add a new class. So you click on the plus button, give it a name, create class, and then all you have to do is follow the list here. So the first step is to create a class. Then the next step is to add courses. So what you're going to do, you're going to click on add courses, and you will be telling Seneca what you want. So Seneca, we have currently over 1,400 courses. So there's a lot to choose from. So what you're going to do here is going to use those filters to select what kind of things you want. So do you want only GCSE? Do you want only A level? Which subject are you interested on? Which exam board? Because Seneca is all exam board specific. So everything that we have is written by senior educators, senior examiners according to the exam board specifications. Then we also have some different types of courses, and for some of them we have higher and foundation as well. So let's add something here. Let me just add this one just as an example. You can add as many as you want. Let's just go for them and click on add courses on top. And then once you're here, the next step, as it says here, is to explore and assign content. So you'll notice that I'm not inviting students yet because Seneca is really using in a way that you create the assignment, you share the link with your students. Once they click on the link, they'll be automatically taken to your assignment. They'll be automatically inserted into your class. It's really, really easy. And if you have the single sign-on, then you really don't have to even worry about them typing passwords and forgetting passwords. It's just really, really quick. So what we're going to do now is select something to set as an assignment. So as it says here, click on Explore and Assign. So we're going to click here. And it's going to show you everything that you selected from the previous step. And then here you have a pop-up with all of our content. So if you open the different topics, you're going to see all of the different assignments. You can preview them if you click on preview. And the idea here is that all of this is already ready for you to use, so you don't have to create the questions, don't have to worry about looking for images or anything like that. All you have to do is select the ones you want and send to your students. All of our content is based on cognitive science. All of our content is based on cognitive science, so you know that it's working. We have published articles and papers showing that Seneca works because it's based on retrieval practice, spacing, interleaving, dual coding, etc. We use a lot of GIFs just to make sure it's more engaging, more fun for the student. But anyway, I'm going to show you this in the end. What I wanted to show you here is that you have this preview, or you can just have a look and make sure that that covers what you're teaching. Once you're happy, you go on the X here. And then all you have to do is select the ones that you want. It will give you an estimate of how long it will take you to complete the assignment, or no, you, the students. And then all you have to do is click on assign, give it a name, range, choose a start date, choose a due date, and go. So you see, it's just basically just follow what it says on the screen. And then the last step on this first step is to share the assignment with your students. You have several options here. You can copy this link and paste anywhere, or you can use Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, or email. All of them work, it doesn't matter, whatever is easiest for you. As long as the students click on the link, they will be taken to your class, they will be taken to the assignment, and as soon as they complete the assignment, you will start seeing their grades on their report. All right? So doesn't matter if your school uses Google Classroom, go here. If you use Microsoft Teams, go here. If you communicate with your students by email, go here. If you use any other tool, just copy and paste that link anywhere you want. Okay? And now I'm going to stop for a few seconds just to see if there are any questions, and then I'll get back here to answer any questions that you have or show you the report. So after you have set the assignments to your students, how do you actually see their grades? The main idea of Seneca is to help students to learn better by using cognitive science and gamification, and to help you understand your students better, because everything will be marked immediately and you will be receiving actually 3 types of reports here with all of the grades. You can use the formative assessment for diagnosing if there are any problems with their understanding, misconceptions. So all of that's done for you. And it's a really good tool, honestly, that's been used by 6 million people. So let's just see if there are any questions before I go on. All right, so there is a question here from Paul Allen. Can you set a particular assignment for students if they have already completed independently? Yes, you can. So that's a good question in terms of assignments or independent work. Seneca is good for both. So let me just show you a little bit about that. So let me just share my screen again. All right, so you can use Seneca to set an assignment to your students so they can do exactly what you told them to do, or you can just leave Seneca to be used as independent work as well. So I'll show you here when I go to the student platform. The students are able to access everything they want and just click and start studying straight away. And Seneca has a few ways to help students figure out where to go and where to start. So to answer the question, yes. So you can set any assignments here, regardless if a student has already done that or has not done them yet, as independent work. So it doesn't matter, you can choose anything. And then that's my next step, which I was going to show you anyway, the different types of reports. And that's where the difference will come into place. So if you use assignments, let me just go to one of my classes that I have demo data for you. So you have different types of reports, like I told you before. So if you click on assignments, this one doesn't have assignments. This one. Yeah. So if you go on assignments, then you click on the assignment and you will see the grades for that particular assignment. So we will not consider anything that the student has done before you set the assignment, even if they have studied duality here in the past. it will not be considered for this report because this report is only about assignments that you have set. But you can also go on Insights, and on Insights, it's going to show you everything that students has done so far, regardless if it was an assignment or independent study. So you select the course, you select the metric. I'll tell you about the metrics in a second. You select the period that you want to see, and then you can select, in this case, it's a short course because it's just about a book, but so let's just go for everything. And then here you get to see all of your students' performance ever, okay? Does that make sense? And then once you're here, both here and on the assignments tab, you have a few options. So you can see the student's best score, worst score, first, most recent, average, number of attempts, total study time. So it's like I was saying in the beginning, everything is directly reported here for you. So you have this really good overview about everything that's happening with your students. So for example, here you can very easily see that this student here is doing pretty well. This student here is not doing as well, it's average. This student here has even some very bad score. So that gives you information to know what to do, how to intervene, how to adjust. And that's why we call it a formative assessment, because you're looking into the progress as they are progressing and not only at the end during summative assessment. Okay, similarly, you can also look by topic. So you see this topic, people are doing pretty well, but then there might be some topics where most students didn't get it. So you know you have to revisit that topic before going to the next one, right? You can always download that, both here and on assignments. You can have different metrics, you can download it, and you can also go on progress here. So that's the third type of report that we have, which is progress. And that lets you see more than one class at the same time. So especially if you're a head of department or a head of year, that's very handy because you don't have to go class by class. All you have to do is go here, select even all, select the time period, generate a report, and that downloads for you a spreadsheet that you can use to have a big, just general overview about all of students in that year or that subject or the whole school if you want. Okay, let me go back and see if I've answered those questions. Yeah, I still had that one marked. Right, so we have a question here from Sam. I'm gonna answer that, and then I'm gonna let my colleague Ben take over because I actually have another call to jump to in a minute, but Ben knows everything about Seneca anyway. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna answer Sam's question pretty quickly and then go to Ben, and he's gonna show to you the student platform. So what happens on the student side, what kind of features we have for students, the different types of courses, and also a little bit about MIS integration if you're interested in that for the future. All right, so the question is, will their independent work appear on your mark sheet? Yes, if you go on Insights. So if you go on assignments, you only see the actual assignments that you set. If you go on Insights, you're gonna see everything. If you go on Progress, you're gonna see a little bit of everything. It's gonna show you how many assignments have been set, the average score in the assignments, but also the average score in general. So you have, that's the good thing about it. You have 3 types of reports, so you can use whatever you want at any time, depending on what kind of information you want to acquire from Seneca. Yeah, and then last one from Amanda, are the reports automatically sent out to students? The report is not sent to students, so the whole table with everybody's data is only for you. But students do know exactly, the moment that they finish, they know exactly how they are doing on their own work. But I'll let Ben show you that when he goes onto the student platform. Right, so Ben, yep.
Hello. Thank you so much, Flavia, for jumping in sort of at the very last minute for me. We all know how different calls can overrun. So, Flavia, thank you so much. By all means, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And everyone who has been enjoying Flavia's show, hopefully I can keep it to the same pace and the same level of knowledge. So I'm understanding that we are going to jump in now to the pupil profile so that we can take a look at what is it like to use Seneca as a learner. So we can look at the way that pupils will be allocated work by you as the teacher, or indeed through their own free learning. We have Seneca as an open platform so that there can be autonomous learning as well. So I've jumped across from a teacher platform into the pupil view. And so as we're looking at this as a learner, you can see I've got my recent courses in front of me here. So these are the courses that I have been both assigned and chosen to undertake in my own learning. I'm just, again, I think in my excitement to join you all, I've used the wrong login page. So I'm just going to do that process again. Here we go. So I've logged back in as a pupil. I can see some recent courses, but most importantly, as a pupil, is that understanding of right, what is the work that I need to do? What have my teachers set me? And so we have this tile that runs across the middle of the page here, and this shows them their very next piece of assignment that is due in. So we can see that this piece of work is due in 11:30. Gosh, that's 11:30 tomorrow morning. We can see that this particular pupil has very nearly completed the work from the progress bar here at the bottom of that tile. But I can, furthermore, I can open this up and I can see exactly which units as a pupil I've completed. And indeed, I can see I've got 2 elements left to complete. But it might be as well that I actually think, oh, end of topic test, what's in cells? I've done some pretty good work here, but that's maybe not a true reflection of where I'm at. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to redo that part of the unit again. So I can be really quite dedicated and focused as a pupil, as a learner, as to which parts of my coursework I'm really wanting to maximize my scores on. So I can see here my immediate next assignment, but if I click on see all, that's going to show me all upcoming assignments that have been set to me by the teaching staff. So I can see these all in chronological order, but I can also go into past assignments so that I can look at what I've done year to date. And indeed, you'll notice I can retry these units as well. So I can really look to, I mean, it's not necessarily required for this particular learner, but I would be able to come back into any one of these topics to revisit that question pathway and add to my learning. So I've just seen, as I've been talking, seen some questions coming up. So Henry, welcome, Mr. Ben, thank you, and welcome to you as well, Henry. What happens? Aha, so I'm just going to drag this question across. So Paul's asked a really good question here. What happens if students change classes? Do they have to start from the beginning again? So there are 2 ways that this might well happen. Is if you are using Seneca as a free platform, you would have created your classes and you would have invited your pupil in. And so you would need to have them moved out, but we at Seneca, we can help you migrate their data across. If, however, you are using Seneca as a premium school, we would recommend the connection to your MIS platform. So whether you're using Sims or another platform, so that we can actually designate and have those absolute data points to link to each of your pupils. And in which case, that's going to be entirely dynamic. So it could be that you're creating multiple classes, not only for the year group, but then you could have different study groups. Providing that is all designated in the MIS, that would update automatically on a daily synchronous basis. So you wouldn't need to worry about that manual reassigning. As I say, though, if it's on a free use basis, I will be sharing my contact details later before we depart. And if you do have any questions like that, and if you are facing that challenge yourself, Paul, let's have a conversation and I'll see how we can make it as pain-free as possible for you. Very good question here from Suzanne. Thank you. Do you need to add the students to the class for it to come up on their homepage? You don't need to physically add them to your class, but you will need to have shared that homework with you. So I'm just going to run a little experiment with all of you. I'm going to jump back into my teacher profile and I'm going to just take a test class. And I'm going to do GCSE. What am I going to set you to do homework this afternoon? What do you fancy doing? GCSE French. And I am going to see, is there, here we go, foundation vocabulary. I'm sure this is exactly what you wanted to be doing on a Monday afternoon. So I'm going to create a French vocab assignment. I'm going to put, I'm not going to give you 90 minutes of homework. I'm going to give just, let's see. There we go, those two pieces. And really, we're not going to have to do this work. It's just to see just how easy it is to gain access to a class. So I'm going to assign, and I'm going to YouTube test assignment. I'm going to create that piece of assignment. Now, I've not added any one of you as pupils. As a magician might say, we've never met before. So I'm going to copy that link. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that into the comments bar. And so now you will be able to see that homework. It should render you a member of my class. I'll do the same up here. And you'll see sort of celebration here as I am brought into this test class. So I will continue, and I will then be able to see, again, sharing my screen does unfortunately slow things down somewhat, but here we go. I can see that piece of homework and I could start that assignment. Now, if I'm within my profile here, I would be able to then see what the progress is on that particular assignment. So I can see here that I have opened this up. This logon is Solon Hills. But if you were to be following that process through, you'd be able to enter that class and complete that particular piece of coursework, and the scores would start coming in. So really good question, Suzanne. Thank you for that. Let's see, where are we? There we go. So I was talking student platform. We got slightly sidetracked, didn't we, by the question, but that's brilliant. It's lovely to go off on tangents. So I was talking about the next assignment due date and how you can assess where you're at with particular items of homework and can continue working on the scores. As we move down the student profile page here, this is a really nice element. This is this memory palace. I don't know whether you're fans of Sherlock Holmes from the BBC, but of course Sherlock Holmes, he'd stored all his memories and clues within his own memory palace. And that's the concept that we've taken here at Seneca, is that anytime you complete a unit of learning, you will be able to store that knowledge within your global memory palace. So the memory palace to us is our planet Earth. And as you can see here, this student's got 6 memory tokens here. So the death of Edward the Confessor has been pinned to Hamburg in Germany. And so that is a way of reaccessing that particular memory and that particular set of knowledge. Furthermore, just to really embed a sort of a gamification, for every unit of work that a pupil undertakes, there is a global leaderboard. So in this instance, we're looking at a biology piece of work. We never use pupils' names in the public domain. So when they come to this, they are asked to choose a randomly generated nickname. So in this event, it's Adventurous Scorpio. I'm the only one who has conducted this or completed this test in the last 24 hours. So you can see I'm the only one in that leaderboard. But in some instances, you could find yourself competing with people across the globe. So it's not just within your school community. There are also key facts up here in this across these tiles here, telling me what my current knowledge score is, how many questions I've answered, and what my total learning time is too. So it's a really sort of trying to give an uncluttered, but as sort of complete an access to learning as possible for all pupils. So I'm just going to take a little look at our questions. is there a limit? Really good question. Is there a limit on questions? I'm not aware of any limits on questions. Again, as I say, Leonora, that if you are connected through a data system that will bring in all your pupils, I can't imagine that there would be an upper limit. I would feel incredibly sorry for you if you're having to add sort of more than 100 pupils. Anywhere more than 30 would be particularly painful, really. But no, there are no limits that I'm aware of for the number of pupils within a class. Obviously, if it's just that you're looking to register everyone, it might be easier to separate them if you can across multiple classes, unless of course you are just sharing that same content with all pupils. Okay, so I am so sorry that there was that little sort of personality change in the middle of the session. I was due to come on at 4, but what had meant to be a one-to-one was actually a whole school presentation, which I couldn't duck out of. So my huge thanks to my colleague, Dr. Flavia, and thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon. I know September certainly in the UK is an incredibly busy time to get back into it. So thank you for making the time to join our discussion today. I'm going to pop my email address in at the comments now. So should you have any questions or would like to explore previous premium functionality, so that can be the integration with your MIS tools, enhanced whole school reporting, and alternative means of learning for pupils, and a greater depth of course material, do let me know. Otherwise, even as a free user, please do get in touch. Let us know how you are using Seneca, what the impact has been for your department and your pupils. Always love to hear how you're getting on, and of course answer any questions that you have. So thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon if you're on sort of European time, or the rest of your day elsewhere in the world. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much, guys. All the very best.